John, it is a delight to have you in Palm Beach, Florida. I hope you have found it to be pretty and beautiful in this part of the world.
It's a wonderful part of the world, and thank you so much for James
Welcome.
for having us here.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for partnering with the World Leaders Conference and World Leaders Group to bring forward the servant leader model about executive coaching, about leadership. You've been doing this for 25 years and you've had cohorts all over the world. And you produced this book called The Servant Leader that has been life transformational. Tell me a little bit about the servant leader and about what people can expect from this cohort.
The cohort that we're going to do together, Center for Servant Leadership, World Leaders, right here in West Palm Beach, will bring 20 executive leaders into a room for 6 days over the course of about 6 months. And we go through a very disciplined body of leadership practices and behaviors that we benchmark from all over the world, watching the best leaders, what they do inside those organizations to produce the results that they get. And so all we teach, James, is what we've learned from the finest leaders on earth around those specific daily learnable disciplines that we need to get better at if we want our organizations to flourish, our people to grow, and our customers to be delighted.
So that's wonderful. So when people experience, because the intimate setting is what is so valuable, that not only are they learning from you and from others, but they're also learning from the other people that are a part of the cohort, right? So what's some of the things that you've seen that really are life transformational, that are life changing for you?
Well, we do a couple of things every time we get together. There's a little bit of teaching. People think a day together, I'll fall asleep. It's a very interactive process. We do a little teaching because we have to think right about things, otherwise we won't really pay attention to it. And then we go into the behaviors that we work at that day. One of the things that's really transformational in this work is we've spent a lot of time gathering in by filming as well as writing specific case stories, specific application stories of the thing we're teaching that day as it's being done by extraordinary leaders in other places. And what I love to watch is the lights go on for leaders, the hearts get encouraged when they see that's how that's done in that situation. And then the mind begins to engage, the imagination begins to engage, and leaders say, I know what I'm going to do in my situation. I see the testimony, I see the example, I know how to bring that home. And then we go into an application piece of work each time, and we make a plan to make a small shift that will make a big difference. And then we send people out to practice, and then we come back again in another month to hear what happened and how did things get better.
So when you talk about that whole process of the cohort, of all those different avenues that you just described, let's talk about the thinking process for a second, okay?
Right.
You know, the battle really is between our 2 ears, right? So what is something you could be a takeaway for a leader today when it comes to thinking and about being proactive, but the whole shift of being an encourager and a servant leader, what does that look like as a thinker? Talk about that.
Let me give you one example. I think this might be the biggest thinking shift we need to go through and really get clear about this. In our leadership practice, we give lip service to the fact that our people are our most important asset. We give lip service to that.
Right.
But I don't think we profoundly grasp the truth of that. At the end of the day, the great impact our organization is going to have is going to be had by people we're not watching at the moment they do what they do. They're going to be in front of a customer, and it wasn't in the script we taught them.
Right.
They're going to be out on the shop floor, and we're at the other plant. And what is it that that person decides that they're going to bring? Beyond job description, beyond performance review, because they really believe that we love them. They really believe that they're working for an organization that's honorable. They really believe that they are a treasure in the way we treat them. And I don't think, James, that we adequately understand that we create the conditions in which people either do or do not choose to bring it on. We create those conditions. And we must create the conditions in which human beings decide to bring the best of themselves. they get to decide
That's right.
by free election whether they do or don't. And what we teach is what are those behaviors we must get good at if we hope to deserve people to make that kind of a free choice to bring it all to the job.
That's well said, because so many times as a leader we can make excuses and say that so-and-so is not doing their job right. But really, it ought to come back to us and say, what are we not doing to help serve and help the people that work with us to bring the customer experience, to make that happen. And organizations, don't you also find that organizations are more profitable by taking this model versus this other model that's been around for so long? Have you found that to be true?
It's true all over the world.
Sure.
We don't see it in the newspaper stories, but every place that value is being created, that customers are loyal, and that workers do fantastic work, there's a serving leader who knows that they're not there for themselves, they're there for their people. They're not there for themselves, they're there for their customers. They're not there for themselves, they're there for their standards and their values. Every place that value is getting created, when I say value is getting created, I mean value is being given and profits are coming back. Every place that happens, there's a serving leader who knows that his or her job is to do something other than serve themselves.
That's beautiful. Well, we're excited about this cohort coming up October 16th. It's hard to believe it's just around the corner. And we're excited that people are now taking advantage of this. And I know that seats are just limited, but we're thrilled about this opportunity. We're excited about the life transformation companies that are going to happen right here in Palm Beach. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, James. It's wonderful to do this with you.
Thank you so very much.
Please join us at the World Leaders Serving Leader Cohort that will kick off on October 16. We'd love to make an investment in your leadership growth as you make an investment in your people and your organizations to serve the world.
Yes, please do. WorldLeadersConference.com/events. And it's the first inaugural cohort for the World Leaders Conference, partnering with the Center for Servant Leadership. We look forward to seeing you there.